Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hope y'all having the day that you're choosing to have, which is a good one, I hope. Back with another video. I decided I wanted to talk to y'all, while the sun's shining. It was nice outside. I hope all is well, all that good stuff. But I wanted to talk about basically my background, since of course I was gonna get to that, but my background of like how I was raised and the inner conflicts that I was dealing with as a kid up until my teenage years, preteen. So basically growing up, at one point I had like a 2-parent household, and but it wasn't for like a long period of time. I think maybe until I was like, I had to been like maybe 7, 6, somewhere in there. 2-parent household was all cool, and at one point I was a daddy's girl, and then when they separated, I became a mama's girl. Crazy, right? And then growing up, like, my mom showed me a lot of love and affection. She didn't play though. She did not play. She was very like just not to be fucked with. So yeah, but she definitely, made sure I wanted, needed for nothing. Yeah, she was very loving, very supportive. A little bit of strict, but not really. Yeah, growing up it was pretty cool. I was the baby coming into the family. I was the baby, and growing up, like I say, it was cool. It wasn't, but as I started to hit like close to maybe like my preteens, I was a very sad child. And I didn't know why. Like, I didn't know why I was so sad all the time. Like, I was just so sad. And some people probably didn't know that, but like behind closed doors, being in my room, I was very sad. Sad as fuck. Sad as fuck. And I just didn't understand why. And like, I was happy, had my happy moments, but I always felt like it was something missing. And yeah. So, like I say, preteens, I was just becoming a very sad individual. And I didn't understand why. And then, as kids, we start examining our body and, start paying attention to ourselves and all that good stuff, right? So that's kind of basically what I was doing. And I would like notice certain things about myself, and I would ask my mom, like, why is this, why is that? And she never really had like a answer for me, I guess. And then maybe like, I guess I was trying to figure out who I was, right? I was in that stage of figuring out who I was and what did I like, what made me happy, and just trying to really figure out, you know what I'm saying? And I want to say like 7th grade. So how old are you in 7th grade? Maybe like what, 12, 13, I don't know. However old are you in 7th grade? I was like roughly around that age. And I remember my mom, she was like, I'm gonna tell you a story. So I'm like, okay. And we in the kitchen, cooking, whatever. I'm standing next to her, and it was like raining outside. I never forget. It was raining outside, like pouring down, right? And she was like, I used to work at this facility, this place where I would take care of the babies. And she was like, it was this one specific baby that I would always come and take care of and buy her stuff. I would always just go straight to that baby when I would get to work because she was so beautiful, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like all interested in the conversation. And I'm like, oh, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so who was this baby? And she was like, it was you. And I was like, huh? She was just like, yeah, I adopted you. And, but in order for me to, like, for that to have happened, I had to quit the job and, take it from there. And I was like, my first response, I'm not gonna lie, I instantly started crying, and I told her I hate her, and, went off to my room. And like I say, by this time, my dad was no longer in the picture. They had separated. And I remember hearing her, call him on the phone. And, he was just like, why would you tell her that? Why would you tell her that? But she told me off the strength of one of her kids threatening her that they were going to tell me to, like, hurt my feelings or whatever. So she told me before anybody else could. I guess the plan was for me to know when I was 18. But I found out a little bit beforehand. And so yeah, I stormed off to my room. I was crying. I was sad. And I was just like now that probably makes sense as to why I'll be so fucking sad. Like, because I always felt like a part of me or something was missing. Like, I didn't know. I just couldn't figure out. I would have so many sad moments, and I just didn't know, like, why. So when I was told that, I'm like, okay, that makes sense as to why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling, or why I've been struggling with certain things growing up in my life, like internally, because of probably something that came from my biological mom. But my mom that raised me, she had me. I was like very young. I was a baby. So she had me for a long time, like, and did wonderful with raising me and, teaching me my morals, values, and like just showing me the ropes of how life go, taking care of home, taking care of yourself, being independent, being strong. All those beautiful things that build your character. And so it took me maybe like a few days, and I remember I was, like I said, I was feeling sad. And I said I hate her, and I was just feeling all negative, because I'm like, now it makes sense as to why I've been the way I have been for all of this time. And but it took me a few days to realize, like, wow, she saw something in me, obviously, that made her want to take care of me and take me in and, love me and treat me like her own. So I'm like, there's something about me that, made her want to be like, you know what, I'm going to take this baby and give her the love and everything that she needs. And when I realized that, I was like, wow, it made me love her more. Even though I said what I said, but that was just in a moment. I was hurt because, shoot, for a long time, I thought, she was my mom. Like, she never made me feel no different than how she treated her other kids. she loved me and did all that she could and then some. So I never felt like, you know, I never really had to question. Well, I did at a certain point, because it was some, like I say, just observing me and realizing certain stuff about me. It made me question, like, you know, why this, why that. But overall, she never treated me like the outcast. Like, she never made me feel, you know, odd or nothing like that to make me wonder, like, why you treat me like this. So she didn't treat me no different. So for a while, for a long time, I felt like, you know, this is my mom, this is my mom. You know, I never really questioned it or nothing like that. So when she did tell me, like I said, I was very just in the slumps, feeling of like, damn, you know. So I've been sad and having these moments, and this is probably why, because I guess I didn't come from you, because some shit can really stem from, like, when you in that womb, and how that person, that parent, that's, you know, the mother that's carrying you, some stuff can, you know, come from that. And so when she told me that, like I said, it made me realize, like, damn, this just made me love her even more as an individual, of knowing that you didn't even have to take me in. But the fact that you did shows and tells a lot. And I admire her and love her for that, because she didn't have to, but she did it. And that said a lot. That, you know, showed that she saw something in me that was very precious and beautiful. And I'm like, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you picked me out of all the babies that you probably could have picked. You picked me. Okay, cool. I fucks with it. You know what I'm saying? But then it kind of brought me back to, like, really feeling like, okay, now who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I? Because at one point I was trying to figure out, you know, what I liked, what I didn't like, my passion, why am I here? Like, what is my reasoning for being here? Because I was just so uninterested in a lot of stuff. It just made me, I guess, depressed. Like, I wasn't into school activities. I wasn't one of those girls that did all these different sports and stuff like that. Like, that wasn't me. I did try for the dance team, like, at one point, but I didn't, like, proceed to do anything with that. But so yeah, it really brought me back to, like, square one with trying to figure out, like, okay, well, damn, now who am I then? Since you're not my biological mother, like I thought, then who am I? Where I come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, who do I look like? Because I didn't look like her, you know. But I mean, again, we don't always look like our parents for real, or we do or we don't. But, and that could be your biological parents. So I didn't necessarily feel like, you know, like, oh, she don't look nothing like me, it ain't my mom. Like, no. But when she told me that, it did make me feel like, okay, now, well, who am I? And, you know, where I come from. And she told me, you know, we sat down. Like I said, she gave me a few days or whatever. I had to calm down. And, you know, she said, and she talked to me, she told me, you know, that she had me at a very young, like, I was, like, in months, maybe 4 months, something. I don't know, I was young. And she said that my biological mom was, you know, on drugs, very heavy, so I was a crack baby. And then also had explained, like I said, why certain things about me internally I would question, like, growing up and being in class, it would take me, like, stuff that I knew was so simple, and I didn't understand why I didn't get the concept of it, but I knew it was simple. Like, it was something simple to, like, learn, but I wasn't, like, catching on fast as, like, other people was. Now, I wasn't in no motherfucking LD classes or nothing like that, but I was, even, like I say, just then, I just knew, like, Like, why am I not, in my mind I knew it was very simple, but for some reason it was just not clicking to me as fast as I wanted it to be. So when she told me, I'm like, okay, that makes sense as to why, you know, certain things was how they was, because of probably the drugs or whatever that I had in my system from my mom. She told me that I had siblings. But, you know, she also expressed how much she loved me and how much, you know, she was happy that she had chosen to adopt me and to, you know, make that decision to just bring me in and, like I said, treat me like her own. So, I was okay for the most part, and I didn't feel no different towards her. But again, I felt like I was really back at square one. We're trying to figure out, like, damn, okay, so then who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I for real? Because now I'm, you know, being revealed this information, and I don't know how to take it, and what should I do? You know, I kind of had to, like, relearn myself for real, like, because I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know. So that really kind of took a toll on me, and I was like, I felt like I was just going through I knew I was going through a stage of where I felt suicidal, because I was really fucked up off the strength of knowing that, like, so I'm not who I am, if that makes sense. Like, I was going through it, and I remember, you know, I remember just having random moments. I would cry, and I would be just so, like, in the slumps. And so with me feeling like I was suicidal, I would do, like, you know, cutting on myself. Wasn't like nothing too major, but I do remember, like, you know, doing little cuts on myself, stuff like that. And I remember my mom telling me, like, you know, one day, you know, one of my family members, you know, called her while she was at work, and it was just like, you know, Pooh, which is my nickname. It was like, you know, Pooh, she's crying, she having a moment. I don't know what the fuck going on. Like, you need to talk to her. And I remember, like, you know, being on the phone with her, and she was like, you know, what's wrong? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, you know, like the moment somebody asks you what's wrong, and then you just get to cry, or you just can't even, like, put your words into a sentence to, like, just say, like, what's wrong. Like, the moment somebody asks that, your throat lock up, your eyes get watery, your heart feel like it's like bricks on it or something. And I was just so fucking sad. I was just so sad. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. And, you know, I could hear her sadness in her voice, because it's like she didn't know really what to do. And at one point I was, like, seeing a counselor, like, in school, like one of the counselors that was in school with him, but that didn't really help. It did, but it didn't. I was just like, at this point, this is something that I would have to, like, figure out on my own. But yeah, you know, she was like, what's wrong? She was like, I'm on my way home. And I just went in the room, and I just cried. And, you know, I remember her saying, like, you know who your worst enemy is? And I was like, who? She was like, you. She was like, you are your own worst enemy. She was like, you just be really, like, down on yourself, or just, you know. And I mean, at that time, I felt like, damn, she probably right. But part of me also felt like this is something that I can't control, because I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. I don't know. And I just knew I was, like, emotionally and mentally fucked up, and not many people knew that for real, you know. And the people that did, you know, it was probably like something that I could work with, some minor in their eyes, but, like I said, I found myself being sad a lot. And yeah, I remember her telling me that, and I was like, shit, I probably am, you know what I'm saying? So that happened for a long time. And then I remember, like, I think that was my 18th birthday or my 17th birthday, because my mom passed when I was 18, due to some type of like lung cancer. And yeah, so I think like my 18th birthday or my 17th birthday, it was one of the two. And when I say I woke up so fucking sad, I woke up crying on my birthday, and I did not know why. I was so hurt. I was so hurt, and I couldn't understand why. I didn't know why. And you know, at the time, I believe like the money was tight for us, so she couldn't necessarily get me, even though I wasn't a child that wanted everything and like was so caught up on material stuff. Like, I didn't give a fuck about that. Like, she always made sure I had what I needed and, you know, gave me what I wanted, but she never like put me in that mind frame of feeling like I had to have name brand things and stuff like that to make me happy, because, you know, that doesn't can't buy love, basically. So she really did truly love me and nurture me in all ways possible, and I'm very grateful for that, because like it's in me, like it is never going nowhere. Now that's how I love. So but yeah, like my 18th or 17th, I think it was my 18th birthday, and I woke up and I was so sad. And I was crying, and she thought that I was crying because, you know, she couldn't give me everything or whatever I did ask for. She couldn't necessarily give it at that moment, because again, money was tight for whatever our reason. It was tight at that time. And yeah, so, you know, she was just crying with me. She was crying with me, and you know, I'm getting ready for school, and I'm just like, when I say I was bawling in tears, y'all, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I don't know why I was so sad. I really don't. But, you know, now, sometimes I think about that, and I'm like, maybe I was probably sad because that was my last year with her, my last birthday with her. I didn't know that then. I didn't know she was going to pass. But, again, I woke up so sad, and I was crying, and I was so hurt. I was so hurt. And, like, eyes was just red as they could be. And she just crying with me, and she, like I said, she thinking it's because I'm sad about my birthday or something. It wasn't even that. I was just, it was other shit, but I didn't know what it was. But like I say, now, you know, that time has passed, I'm like, maybe I was sad because I didn't know then, but that was my last birthday with her. You know, and yeah, so, for a long time, like, so after she passed, you know, I was really fucked up. It felt so just surreal. Like, it just didn't, I don't know if I didn't grieve properly, or I don't know, but it didn't feel real at all that she was gone. And I'm like, damn, like, this is crazy, because at one point I remember telling God, like, way before she got sick, I remember telling God, like, God, if you take these two people from me, I don't know what I would do. And those two people was my mom, and then it was my it was my first love, you could say. And in my heart, I knew that God knew how much I loved those two individuals, like, very deep, to where I couldn't imagine life without them. And I'm like, God, if you take these two people from me, I don't know what I'm gonna do, yada yada yada. So then when that time happened, and that moment came to where she left physically, I was just like, I don't know if I was numb to it or what, but I was just like, this is crazy. I'm like, this is crazy. You know, I thought I was gonna turn out for the worst. And then it's like, once she passed, it's like whatever strength that she had left in her, it was like given to me, on top of what God has given to me as well, you know, the Most High. And it was like I said, I thought I was going to turn out for the worst, and I turned out for the better with a lot of wisdom and knowledge and a lot of strength. But again, I didn't grieve how I should have. And I feel like, and I'm pretty sure all of y'all can feel the same, when you have someone that passed in your life, grieving is gonna be forever. Like that's not something that's just gonna stop. Like, you're gonna be grieving until it's your time to transcend and go elsewhere. So I just like I said, I did feel like I was gonna turn out for the worst, but I turned out for the better. And I'm like, dang, you know, I thank God. I thank you for allowing me to, I guess, experiences. Even though that sounds crazy, like, why would you want to experience? But no, I'm just saying, like, it happened, and I tend to just do it with ease, like, and but yeah, so how I kind of overcame that, you know, as far as the whole, like, being real sad and stuff, I remember one day I was, you know, speaking out loud, and I remember telling God, like, God, if you can really stop my negative thoughts, because at one point I was negative, and I convinced myself that me being negative was me thinking realistically. And I had to tell myself, like, the fuck no, Tria, that's not thinking realistically. Like, that's being negative, period. And sometimes we be having certain, you know what I'm saying, demons or something attached to us to make us operate in a certain energy. And I just remember just saying, like, I don't want to keep thinking like this, you know, having a negative thought. I don't even want to be depressed or nothing like that. Like, I need to try to truly find what brings me joy, because like I said before, it always felt like it was something missing, like something was just a piece of me, it was missing. There's something I had to find to make me feel complete, because I didn't feel complete, I didn't feel whole. And yeah, so I remember saying, like, God, just, you know, help me not think negatively. Like, whenever I have a negative moment, if you could just block out that negative thought. Like, I'd rather my mind go blank. Like, I go blank, my mind go blank before I think a negative thought. And when I tell y'all, it worked. It worked. And then one day I realized, I'm like, dang, I haven't thought a negative thought. I haven't thought negative. And, like, at that time, it was like for like maybe a month. And I'm like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was very thankful, because if y'all understood and understand how powerful our mind really is, bro, y'all gonna operate differently. Like they say, a beautiful, the mind is a horrible thing to waste. And that's so true, because the mind is so powerful, y'all. I can't make it up. I cannot make it up. And it's like, now thinking about how the old me versus this me, totally different. And it feels good. It feels like I hit the jackpot for, like, a lot of money. And this is the peace that I have been looking for all of this time. And it feels amazing to, you know what I'm saying, like I say, when you overcome certain things. And it's not easy, but you have to, like I say, like, man, I've mentioned, I think in the last video, yes, we all are gods and goddesses, but you gotta tap in first to see your worth and your value. But once you do that, you have to also know as well that, yeah, we are gods and goddesses, but there is also a higher power, like, that's outside of us. It's in us, and it's also outside of us, I believe. know, but hey, to each his own. And ask for certain things, because honestly, you'll get to a certain point where you can't even probably sleep good at night because you feeling like you sad, you miserable, whatever. And that's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling, because you're gonna be like, damn, like, I'm tired of feeling like this. And when I tell you, no matter who you gonna date, no matter who around, whether it's your kids or anybody, you're gonna still, because it's an internal thing. Like, it's something that won't go away until you fix it. No matter who you surround yourself by, no matter what you do, whether you're drinking, you're smoking, you're gonna still feel a sad ass person, miserable, whatever, unhappy. You gotta find your joy, find joy within all things, and that's something that can never be taken away. So, yeah, like, and I thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? To just, it's like, what can I not face? Like, what can I not face? And then I'm very good at transmuting that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's something negative or whatever, I'm turning that shit to positive real fast, because who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me? Nobody. So, yeah, that's my background, as far as just, how I grew up and the internal things that I was like dealing with. And I had to really just seek like some guidance, and really call on God to just help me, because again, it's not easy. It's not. And you have to, again, sit by yourself. That's the most important thing. Sit by yourself and realize, like, I don't want to keep being like this. I want to change. I want to be different. I don't want to be this person. And believe that it can happen. And once you do, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna feel so good. You're gonna feel like something just came over you, where it's an amazing feeling. Like, it's a beautiful thing to see, and I fucks with it. So if any of y'all is dealing with certain things that y'all probably may not speak on or talk about to whoever, and don't be lying to yourself. That's crazy. Don't lie to yourself. Do not lie to yourself, because if you lie to yourself, you be, I'm not judging, but you really need to get some help. Seek some help in whatever way possible, because that's the first step, is identifying and knowing that something needs to be changed. It needs to be fixed. So that is the first step. And like I say, call on the Most High, whatever y'all believe in. Call on God for real, and pay attention. I swear, you're gonna get your answers in all type of ways. You just gotta pay attention. You really gotta pay attention. Like, and step outside the matrix. But that's another video. Step outside the matrix though, and really see, like, dang. And you start paying attention, I promise, y'all gonna probably think like, am I going crazy? No, you're not going crazy. And just, do what you need to do. Do the inner work, for real. This is a job, a project itself, and it's every day. It's nonstop. It ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop. But as long as you're willing and you're doing the work, I promise it's gonna be worth it. Because at that point, you're not gonna care who around, whether you come or go, who in your life. You're gonna be so okay within yourself and continue to love yourself and realize who you are. You're gonna be good. So yeah, that's the background for my childhood and my little story I just gave y'all. I hope that y'all do something with it. And yeah, so I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.